Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are continuing Married at First Sight season 20 episodes. I think it's 17. Yeah, 17 and 18. 17 was Breakthroughs and Betrayals, and 18 was the final countdown before decision day. So we just get getting into it. So we pick off. We're still at the couples retreat, right? And I'm gonna come now. These two episodes, I'm just gonna kind of have to combine. I'm gonna combine them and just go free for all as we talk about these last few episodes before the decision day. So we pick up where we left off last week at the end of Tori and at the last episode where Tori and Felipe kind of like almost broke up, basically. So the guys are comforting Felipe about it, and it was just basically like they did apologize for their part in that argument and stuff. Tori went to bed. The girls came to check on her, and she was just crying and stuff. So Felipe ended up staying on the couch and stuff. The next day arises, and like all the other couples are going out on little dates or whatever. And here's the thing with this episode, these episodes, it seems like all the guys are like really like to shoot themselves in the foot because of the things that they be talking about and things that be saying. And that's what happened mostly with Felipe. Now, and I said in the last video that I thought Tori may have overreacted based on that game because she judged it based on that game. Even as she says it's more to it than just a game. And we'll talk about more games later when I talk about another particular couple. So so we've seen Mecca and Belle have a conversation, and they talked about like where they're at. Bella Jolie feels like that Mecca is on thin ice with everything, which is some of the stuff that he's saying and stuff. She told the group of what his comment at the dinner table was and everything, and he felt remorseful for it, but there was another comment that he made that's going to be brought up and stuff. Now, and I'll talk more about that in a few. Now, eventually, we've seen the next day, like we've seen like Caitlin and Felipe have a conversation, and Caitlin kind of like reeled into Felipe. She's like, "Tell me what marriage is easy. Marriage is freaking hard, and etc. and everything." Devin is just not. Devin's having a conversation with Nikki, and he was just like, man, she could sometimes be defensive, aggressive, and stuff and everything, whatever. Now, Felipe and Tori did have like a conversation, came back to have a conversation. And Tori feels like that she just wants like Felipe to like hear her and just understand how she's feeling. And she said that he's not giving that to her and stuff. Like it doesn't seem like he sees anything wrong with what he's doing and what he's saying and stuff. And she wants Felipe to be her safe place. And at that moment, she didn't feel like he was her safe place. Now he told her that he wants to really try harder to be in her safe place and stuff and everything, and they actually kind of got back together briefly for now. So they didn't break up as I thought that they would. So Felipe and Tori, they go like on a little archery date and stuff, and yeah, right now they're okay. So now let's talk about Caitlin and Devin. Caitlin and Devin, they're out in the woods, and they're on a little date and stuff. And okay, so as their topic of conversation is that they're fighting for affection, where Devin is. Well, in this episode, Caitlin has been saying that I've been giving cues to Devin, and he hasn't been taking them. She said that he's been like putting her hand on his leg and stuff and everything, and like just giving cues, and he's not doing nothing, and he's getting frustrated and stuff, but not understanding the cues, and she's frustrated. I'm like, I'm giving you the cues if you're not saying anything and everything. And then it just turned into a whole ordeal just about how like they have like this like really toxic communication. Devin says that like, you know, she likes to cut him off and not listen, and then when she does speak, she can get really aggressive, defensive, and he said I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not going to be putting up with that because that's just BS and stuff and everything. So so like that's just where he's at. So I've been on Devin's side for most of the season. And in the last couple episodes, last couple of weeks, I've been leaning towards more starting to kind of feel how Caitlyn, because he can get pretty aggressive, and I'll talk more about that in a few. So meanwhile, you know, Michelle and Cameron are just gloating with everybody, like throwing their 2 cents in. Yes, and I said this in my last video. Yes, they are my favorite couple. Yes, I feel like they're going to say yes on decision day, but don't get cocky with just because you're the best couple there and everything, and like meddling and like being like and stirring the pot in everybody else's relationship. Because okay, I guess like remember back to Mecca and Bella Jolie. Remember in the last episode when like Adam and Cameron asked Mecca, like, is Belle your dream girl? And he said no. And then what's your type? And he wants somebody thicker and big, you know, big boobs and stuff and everything. Well, they told Michelle that, and Michelle went back and told Bella Jolie that. Now, I get girls looking after girls, but that's, I mean, and I know eventually that was going to come out, but so Bella Jolie, like, she didn't get, I mean, she got upset by it, but she didn't have a overreaction with it. She said that, you know, with us women, we're not going to be everybody's 10. We're not going to be 100% everybody's like physical type. There's always going to be something, and vice versa and everything. But the problem is that this has been like the whole problem in our relationship. So eventually she does confront Mecca about it. She's like, you know, I just heard some things. And he was like, what you hear? And I'm like, I hear you want a girl with big boobs and stuff and everything, big girls and stuff. Like what are we doing? He was like, what are you talking about? Like, don't play dumb with me. Don't play dumb. And she's just like she just told him, dude, you are on thin ice. I don't know what I could say or do or whatever. You're just on thin ice, and you keep shooting yourself in the foot and stuff. We'll have this conversation again later, but trust and believe you're on thin ice and stuff. And he was like, well, who told you? And she's like, Michelle. And then he's trying to figure out, well, how did Michelle know? And then like, I told all these people, all these guys in confidence, and I wouldn't have let that be exposed or whatever. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You still said that. And now, like, where do we go from here, basically? So there's that. So now Adam and Marissa, they've been quiet. They've been quiet this whole time. So Marissa's just like, you know, everybody's here just fighting all the time. Let's just loosen up and have a good time. Like, listen to all these people in relationships is just troubling. So let's just play a game. So Marissa comes up with this game. It's like a spin the bottle, like spin and tell us a secret or do something or whatever. So the whole group gets together and plays this game. They spin the bottle. It lands on Felipe, Tori and Felipe, and Tori had to take a selfie with somebody next to her, like it make it look sexy. But Tori didn't choose Felipe to do that. She actually chose Marissa, Marissa Michelle. So, and then they asked Felipe, a question, like they asked a question about a hall pass. And this time Felipe was really careful with his words. He said he did not want to. He's like, you know, guys, I'm gonna think before I speak from now on. And I'm like, oh, what? This is growth, and not say anything. And then they also asked him, like, if there's like a group of girls that came in, like he was like, I'm married. I'm happily married. And stuff. And so good. That's growth. And Michelle was like, yeah, you know, Felipe's just trying to be good. And so you don't have to sleep on the couch and stuff. So meanwhile, while we played, and before we were also playing this game, we had the whole group had before the game was being played, the whole group talked about the attraction comments and stuff and everything, Nikki had revealed to the group of what Sean said about her about her being 10 in Seattle, but a 7 in New York. And yeah, so she told the group that the group was just like, wow, really? And so, and I feel like when Bella Jolie heard that comment, I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit over the place. I always do this with Married at First Sight. But when Bella Jolie like heard that comment, she was just like, don't make me have to like, I don't feel like I always have to like justify or victimize my relationship or whatever and everything, or just I don't know. And everything. I think Bella Jolie took that comment way more, Sean's comment to Nikki more than Nikki took it, because Nikki says she already looked past it and everything. But anyway, back to the game. I just wanted to throw that in there. So back to the game. So they're playing the spin the bottle game. Then they asked like if you wanted to do a Married at First Sight swap or whatever, who would it be? And who said who? I think that Bella Jolie said that she would be with Tori. I think all the girls said that. Caitlyn said that she would be with Tori. Like everybody basically picked Tori, basically. But then they asked Mecca about that, and then Mecca said I probably would pick either Michelle or Caitlyn. Just answering the questions. I'm like, oh my god, dude, come on. Don't answer that question if you in front of everybody. Don't answer the question of who you want to swap with. Like that is a dangerous question. Like, see, I don't know why they playing these games at these retreats. Why they playing these games? Like, but these games that led to two couples breaking up, basically. Like these games really do stir the pot. Now, I know some people take like a defense to it, but we just know what the true color and everybody's true minds come out when you play these games. So Mecca said Caitlyn and Michelle that he would do a swap with and everything. So now Devin is in his moods again. And so the game is over, and Mecca and Devin go out to have a conversation. And she called it debriefing and everything. And she was just basically telling him like, I heard about your comments against Belle. Like, you shouldn't be saying that. Like, what's going on with you? This, and that, and everything. And they were having a playful conversation about that, but it was kind of serious. And he was just trying to explain his part of it. I mean, I guess they flirted like a tad bit and stuff, but it wasn't anything seriously. And so, but Devin got really, really upset seeing that. Like everybody was joking with Devin. Look at Caitlyn and Mecca out there having a conversation. He wants that swap. He's just like, man, this is so effed up. This is just so up that she could talk to everybody and do this, but she can't do this with me and everything. So then after their conversation, next thing you know, Devin and Caitlyn are just blown. Devin and Caitlyn are sitting on the couch with Mecca and Bella Jolie, and they're screaming at each other and everything. Like, you did this, you entertained that, blah, 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 and everything. And Caitlyn told Devin to shut the F up, and he was like, don't tell me to shut the F up. Don't tell me to see, this is what you do all the time. You don't let me speak. We have toxic communication. Bella Jolie's trying to hold hold Devin back. And Devin was like, no, leave me alone. She just told me to shut the F up and stuff and everything. And she's like, I'm done. Caitlyn's like, I'm done. So that led into the next episode. They have a conversation, Caitlyn and Devin, and apparently even the night before they got into another argument about the attraction that wasn't aired and stuff. It's just constant. It's just these couples just be talking about the exact same things over and over again. So leading into the next episode, Caitlyn and Devin having a conversation. And he was like, I'm not even okay at this point. I'm not even upset about like you and Mecca's conversation. It's just about how you handled it and everything. Like we could have handled it a little better than what we did, yes. But Like you chose to go that route. You told me to shut the F up. And she was just like, you know what? I'm tired. I tried with you and there's nothing else more to say. Like, even I already knew how you were going to act. I don't care. And I'm done with this. We're done. We're done. So Caitlin and Devin actually really did break up. They broke up. And once again, just like Courtney and Nick, I am happy that they broke up. I'm really happy that they broke up because neither one of them were getting what they wanted. Caitlin didn't really want to be married. Devin, I will admit, Devin's a little bit too pushy and stuff. Like he has to act like he doesn't need to have his woman there 24/7 and be like all over her and stuff and everything. Like and everything. So they broke up and they decided to pack up their stuff and go home. Now, before they left, Devin and Mecca did have a conversation. Mecca did like, I hope I wasn't the cause of that problem, and Devin was just like, like I talked to you about it, like you were part of it, but it's really not your fault. Like she fully entertained that. She overdid that. It's not your fault. So Devin and Mecca shook hands on that, and everybody left. So everybody just like left, like with different, like with different people. So like Michelle and Cameron took Caitlin home. Devin left on his own. Bella Jolie and Mecca went with Nikki, and Adam and Marissa, who went with took home Tori and Felipe, because remember Tori and Felipe had that car problems and stuff. So, what an episode! What an episode, man! Like, I mean, the couples retreats are always disastrous. We've seen this on Married at First Sight for years. The couples retreats is always a lot of couples just like fully break up because or some stuff. Like it's just always intense. And clearly that's produced driven and everything. So but still, like, and like I said, they gotta quit playing these games, because when they play these games, like it really gets under people's skin, and then everybody's true colors come out. So meanwhile, now we're into the next episode. So now it's the last episode before decision day. So this is the episode where everybody just tells the couples how much they love each other, how much they love this journey with them throughout the good and the bad and whatever. Tori and Felipe, they're in bed and getting along at the moment. Now we've seen Felipe have a conversation with some of his family members, and Tori have a conversation with her sister about what happened at the retreat. And Felipe's just like, he even said this in the last episode, somebody's going to have to be with me to accept, like, whenever I'm going to say something crazy. Now, yes, I could work on that, but somebody's going to have to accept that. That's just me. Well, dude, I get that to an extent, but if you're going to be saying crazy things, like it's going to be hard to get acceptance, man. So try a little bit harder just not to say crazy stuff. Then you'll probably be accepted and stuff. So, but Tori and Felipe, they had like a little nice little evening together. And Felipe had gotten Tori a picture from their wedding day that said F and T on it and everything, and just brought Tori to tears and stuff. So another nice little daisies and roses moment for now with Tori and Felipe. Michelle and Cameron, they go on a Seattle date out on a pier to talk about how their journey's been. Their journey has been smooth sailing. Like the issues are mostly with Cameron, just like really scared to be in a committed relationship and stuff. So I feel like that's the only way he'll say no to Michelle, is if he's scared to be committed. But Michelle is actually is falling in love with him, and we can see it. She's in love. We all know Michelle's going to say yes, but she's in love. So they go like on this little Ferris wheel. They talk about where they're gonna live and stuff and everything. Like whether if it's in Portland or Seattle and stuff, but he wants to adjust for Michelle's sake. And Michelle was like, I don't want you to quit your job or anything. Like, please don't quit your job and stuff. But he wants to do everything for Michelle, and I love that and stuff. So Mecca and Bella Jolie again, um, they're having their little like moment, just like they're trying to get past of everything that he said. Like even on the car ride home, it's just like Mecca was just saying, "I'm an idiot," and both Nikki and Bella told him that like quit talking about yourself like that. Like like start talking about yourself in a more positive light and stuff. And like Mecca just still feels like he doesn't feel like he is deserving of love. And throughout this whole season, Bella Jolie has been ride or die for him and stuff. So they talked about how like their journey is, and then like that they asked them, they were wondering about all the other couples of being on Love Island and stuff, and Bella said that they're swimming on Love Island, close to it, and stuff. So I mean, it's just that's just that. Um, Adam and Marissa, I'm glad we had a quiet 3 episodes with Adam and Marissa, not talking about the pickleball and the jet skiing and all that. But Adam and Marissa, Adam was actually diagnosed with COVID. Ugh. Yes, COVID is still a thing. It may not be as big as it was, but COVID is still a thing. So they both got sick, and they were both sick in bed together. Adam brought her some honey tea and stuff and everything, and they're they're right in them, and they're not drama. I will say this: Adam and Marissa, they're not drama. They're not into the drama. They're weird. I think on decision day they'll say yes, but they'll probably be broken up by reunion and stuff. So, but they're ready. They talked about where they're going to live. They're actually thinking about just buying a different type of house. They were thinking about first moving in with Adam, but it's going to be moving in with trying to get their own house and stuff. Who else? Okay, Sean and Nikki. So Sean came back from New York after celebrating his mom's birthday, and Nikki filled him in on what happened after he left the couples retreat, and she brought up that she mentioned his comment to her. Now, Sean said in his defense that prior to him saying that you'll be a 10, you're a tendency out of a 7 in New York, I guess Nikki like grabbed his belly fat or whatever, and like said and said something like, look at this. So he said that out of that. Now he said that he apologized for that. He didn't like mean it, but the thing is with Nikki and Sean is that they have to learn how to fight without like really being explosive with each other and everything. And so once again they got past it. Now as they were packing up, the same thing, because the couples had to leave the apartment now and go on their own the night before decision day. As they were packing up and talking about their journey, it started out going really well, but then it turned into another argument, because as they were packing up, Sean was just asking Nikki, how do you feel? And then I guess he started cutting her off and everything, and then that turned into an argument. And she's like, "You're cutting me off. I'm trying to explain to you a lot of these things. You keep cutting me off." And they started, and then she was raising her voice, and Sean was like, "Nikki, like, please don't raise your voice at me. That's not how we're gonna do this and get across this. So how do we process this and validate this right now?" And she's like, "Well, let me finish." You know, like I like you don't need to be cutting me off, and then when you keep asking me stuff like how do I feel like I'm with a therapist and not my not a husband or whatever. Now here's one thing. With Nikki and Sean, Nikki did say that when she was addressing the group that she started to become a little bit nicer to Sean. And she said that when she started becoming a little bit nicer to Sean, he was like coming out more and opening up and being more nicer too. So I think like the moral of that is everybody needs to start being nice to their partners. It's that simple, guys. Be nice to your partners. Like, it doesn't matter with the male or the female. Like, but for the women, be nice to your man. Man, respect your woman, please. Everybody just be nice, because because I read somewhere, or somebody told me a story about a girl, a husband and wife. I forget where I heard this from. Somebody told me a story about a husband and wife that was having a lot of problems, and like the wife went and filed divorce papers and was getting ready to serve him, and but she wanted to wait a couple days just to like play out with them, and she asked her like attorney, like her divorce attorney, what do I do in the meantime? And I guess she said, just be nice to him. He's being all mean and aggressive and nasty. Just be nice to him. Well, she said, she took that advice. So before she went she planned on serving the divorce papers. She went to be, even though he was being all mean and nasty, she started to be really nice to him, even despite him being mean. And for a while, he started becoming nicer, and their relationship was saved because of that. And so the wife went back to the divorce attorney. Okay, I'm ripping up the divorce papers. We're doing better than ever now. So so the moral of the story, especially here with Married at First Sight, be nice, be kind. There's no need to. I know you're gonna have differences. No, we're not all the same. God made us all different, but the love should still be the same. We don't have to be with every single person. We don't have to be attracted to every person, but we need to be kind to people. We need to be kind to our partners, even if we're not interested. Be kind. There's nothing wrong with being kind. A lot of people have issues with being kind. I don't get it. I don't get it. We live in a like really sick world right now. Like we need more kindness in this world. There's nothing wrong with being kind. I don't understand why some people feel that being kind is a bad thing. Being kind is a great thing. When you're kind, a lot of kind things are going to happen to you. I'm a strong believer of that. So that's the moral of the story. Just be kind. So now Nikki and Sean are now questionable with their decision now because like Sean asked her like have you made a decision yet? And she's like, I don't know. So she's thinking like, the last couple of weeks I've been good. This moment was been terrible. I don't know what I'm doing. So that was that. Then we end the episode with Tori and Felipe's decision day. Now, apparently, it looks like they're doing this without the experts. Normally, they do decision day without, and I want to talk about the experts and Peacock and the transition here in a few. But it looks like they're doing decision day without the experts, and Tori and Felipe are first. Felipe got Tori some nice flowers and stuff and everything. They meet up to where they're having their decision day and everything. And Felipe gives this nice little speech on how great Tori is and this, and that. But then Tori's confused because apparently, and this was not filmed. They are not showing a lot. They're not showing all the good stuff that are not filmed. They got into a big fight the night before decision day, and I guess Felipe had said something crazy again. I don't know what it was. We left off with a cliffhanger on that. And Tori's just like, you telling me all this now? I'm so confused. Like, what the heck? Do you think what you said to me last night was right? And he said, I regret it immensely. But what was said? So now we got to wait until next week to find out what he said. So I was feeling so bad for Felipe, but man, but I was actually starting to become on his side more. But then he always be doing something to screw it up. I knew he was gonna be screwing something up, man. Like, come on, Felipe, I've been pulling for you, man. Come on, man. And so yeah. So that was basically it, you guys. Yeah, I'm sorry that Caitlin and Devin once again broke up. I mean, we saw that coming. I hate when couples do break up before decision day because when you break up before decision day, that means your marriage was the most toxic marriage ever. Um, yeah. So before I sign off, I need some little Peacock programming notes. So we found out this week. Okay, we all knew that Married at First Sight moved from Lifetime to Peacock. Now, season 19, they did it last season. It moved last season for season 19. Now, season 19, back in the Austin season, we still had the old experts, Pastor Cal, Dr. Pepper, and Dr. Pia. And Reunion, they had, of course, Kevin Frazier. That was on season 19, and then all the other seasons on Lifetime. Now, this season, I guess they cut all the producers and all the staff that were from Lifetime and from the earlier seasons this season. And so they had to get brand new experts, brand new producers, and a brand new host. So next week is of course, is Decision Day episode and the reunion. The reunion is going to be hosted by the experts, Dr. Lisa and Dr. Paul. They're going to be hosting the reunion. Um, I don't know why the experts are doing it. That don't make no sense. Like the expert normally during the reunion, the experts are being interviewed. So I'm sad because Kevin Frazier took to social media and just thanked everybody at Married at First Sight for all the years that he got to host a reunion and stuff and everything and stuff. And Pastor Cal earlier in the week mentioned that took to social media and said that they got when they switched over to Peacock, except for last season, they let go of all the staff, all the old producers and stuff. So I mean that's unfortunate. I mean I'm glad we got new experts because I thought the experts did a great job this season. These were now this is how it's supposed to be with Married at First Sight. But for reunion, I at least would have kept Kevin. I would at least kept Kevin. Like, okay, I'm fine with everybody else, but at least would have kept Kevin. Like the experts don't need to be hosting the reunion. Like they've been with the group the whole season. So like I know not all they have been with the group all season all together. So why are they hosting the reunion show? So it'll make no sense, but we'll see how that plays out next week. So again, next week we only got 2 episodes. We got Decision Day, and then we got Reunion. So next week I'm probably going to do those recaps on Thursday instead of Friday and Saturday because it's the much anticipated reunion and Decision Day and reunion. So my predictions: Michelle and Cameron, yes. Tori and Felipe, I'm going to say he says yes, she says no. Adam and Marissa, I say yes now, but broken up by reunion. Mecca and Bella Jolie, I'm going to give them a yes and then broken up by reunion. Who else we got? Of course, Nick and Courtney already done. Okay, Sean and Nikki, I'm going to give them a no. That's a flat out no. That's a flat out no. And of course, Caitlin and Devin are already done. So, trying to think if I missed anybody. That Mecca, yep, I got everybody. But yeah, that's my predictions. All right, guys, that is the end of my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. To all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining this channel. I hope you guys enjoy my content. Please give a like and comment, respectful comment, and please share this video with a group of 10. And I appreciate you guys' love and support. This has been like we're growing rapidly, guys. I'm happy to see where the Nathan Temp 2 page has grown so much over the past year. I've been doing YouTube for 4 years now, and we're growing rapidly more than ever now. So, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much. I will be back on tomorrow, Monday, to recap 90 Day Fiance. So till then, y'all stay safe and have a good one. Bye, y'all.